When we turn on the TV news, it seems there's trouble everywhere. Hearts filled with such despair, some stop beating out of fear. Many folks are down on their luck and could use a helping hand. Some need a second chance and others just need a friend. Don't do nothing just 'cause you can't do everything. A little love can turn a deep frown into the widest grin. Try and do something to ease the hunger and the pain. No, don't do nothing just 'cause you can't do everything. You know life's just a short race till we reach the finish line. But Rome wasn't built in a day, it went up a brick at a time. Day by day, step by step, if we help out where we can, we might just be over.
El, what the heck are you doing?
I'm getting ready.
Getting ready for what?
For the fight.
What fight?
You know, the fight for healthcare.
Oh,
And
that
the fight to keep the station.
Oh, I forgot all about that, but I'm glad you're doing that because we really need that fight.
Yeah, you know, I can't really fight because I kind of stink at it, but you know, I got to do what I got to do. So I can use some training out there. I'm going to take a little break here and talk to you in a minute.
Okay.
Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere.
Okay.
Now, all of you know that I'm not a rapper, I'm not a fighter. I like the fights. I'm humanitarian, but I do like the fights. But I'm in training because of, believe it or not, I'm in training and I'm fighting for health care. And I'm a fighter just like Senator Edward Kennedy is a fighter. Now, it's true that Senator Edward Kennedy has recently passed, but his spirit is here today. It's in me, and it needs to be in you. People ask, why should I care about my neighbors, whether they have health care or not? Or they say it's socialized medicine. But America, you need to understand, we have a nation that is called the United States of America. Not the individual states of America. It's the United States, where brother helps brother, neighbor helps neighbor. And if it is not, and if it has never been that, then we need to make it be that now. When we speak about health care, we don't hear the truth from any side. No one comes out and tells you that lack of health care is killing your neighbors, it's killing your mother, it's killing your sister. If you are poor in America, you do not have decent health care. You're lucky to be in the United States or in a state, and you may have something like a state-run health care program. But when we take a real look at the situation, yes, you may be lucky enough to have state-run health care and maybe even government health care, but many times you still can't pay the co-pays. So when people say we can't have a public option plan, and lately there's been a lot of town hall meetings and a lot of misinformation out there, America. But the reality is, if we do not start having a public option And if we do not get a health care reform bill passed, let me tell you who will pay the ultimate cost. Let me come in a little bit for that. Who will pay the ultimate price? Will be somebody you love, or somebody who loves you. You see, the truth is, the politicians in America ain't gonna tell you all what's going down. The news media, outside of public access ain't gonna tell you what's going down. Pretty much nobody, except a few and the brave, patriotic Americans. But the truth is, you, that's right, you, will be the one paying the price. Because you see, someday in your life, you may have good health care now, you may even be wealthy, but someday in your life, chances are either you or your family member is gonna get a dreaded disease, maybe a terminal one.
Hello everybody, this is Annette Mendel, your co-host for Humanity Matters, and this is a live portion of Humanity Matters. And here's our host, Albert Torcaso.
Well, hi everyone. First of all, I'm going to throw some things out there. I wasn't really necessarily planning on having a third month talking about healthcare reform, and we are going to talk about a lot of things today other than just healthcare reform, but unfortunately, for the last 3 months, each and every one of my guests could not make it for some reason. My special guests, such as a pizza gentleman who is also a musician, couldn't make it a couple months ago. And of course, Dr. Wecht has been very busy in the news and taking care of the business, and he's working real hard, and hopefully he will be with us in October. But unfortunately, the person that I called to try to get to come in today also had a problem and could not make it. We were going to talk about ghost investigations and ghost hunting and have a more lighthearted and kind of a fun show. But because of the fact that in the last 3 months we could not have the guest that we had for whatever reason, I thought that as a patriotic American and as a responsible American, and as an American who watches the news and listens to the man and woman on the street, I thought it might be good to once again throw down a little bit about the health care, because if you are out there, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who still are against it, but you're against it mostly because you don't really know the facts, because the truth is there's a lot of propaganda out there and quite frankly misinformation, but let's call it as we see it. I'm one of the hosts here that does a show at PCTV 21. One of the things I believe in doing is acting as if I'm the regular man on the street, because I am. Therefore, I don't necessarily use the most sophisticated vocabulary all the time. But what I do is try to bring it down or bring it up to where it needs to be. And the reality is we're being lied to by people who have a vested interest to keep you from getting health care and health care reform. You see, just because you hear things on the TV or the radio, it doesn't mean that it's not a lie. It doesn't mean that there isn't somebody behind it. In fact, a lot of times we hear about studies on the news. But we need to think, who is funding these studies? We should investigate further